Ghosts in Us contains serious and sometimes disturbing events and is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. And there is the very distinct shape
really
of a
dark
man.
figure that was standing in the doorway.
I'm living an episode of Kindred Spirits right now.
And I just want them to tell me their stories.
So he thinks the life was sacrificed for the spell.
It had the crying boy painting.
Something demonic that was mocking me.
Are you kidding?
It was completely involuntary, but I started crying.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Ghosts in Us podcast. I'm your host, Blaine, and of course, I always have my co-host and best friend, Taylor.
Hi.
And today, due to some of the comments that we got, we wanted to do a part 2 on our Slumber Party games because some people wanted to hear more on them. So here we are. I'm going to issue the disclaimer one more time. We're going to talk about serious and sometimes disturbing events, not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. There it is. And we're not liable for anything you do. So let's start.
If you attempt any of this,
We're not liable.
It's not
Don't
on
sue
us.
Don't sue us, for Christ's sake. I don't have any money to help.
warning, it is, some of these games are pretty dark when it comes to blood being involved. The first game that I have listed is called the Midnight Game, and it is believed that it was an old pagan ritual used as punishment for those who dared to disobey the gods. And you could play this with more than one player, but each player has to do the steps individually. Like, and there's a candle and lighters and paper and blood, all that involved. Each person has to do it on their own. They can't just have one person light the candle or one person do the blood. So the way this game goes is you are welcoming an entity known as the Midnight Man into your home. And the goal of the game is trying to avoid meeting the Midnight Man. And you have to continuously move around your house in hopes that he won't find you. And if you should stop moving at any point, he will catch you. Some people say the Midnight Man will induce hallucinations of your worst fears, or he will remove your organs one by one.
Oh, good.
Either one, not a good outcome.
Trash.
Yeah. So the requirements for this game, you would need a candle, a lighter, or book of matches, a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, a sterilized pin, a wooden door, and salt.
Okay.
I believe I read that there was things about, like, it has to just be like normal table salt, like Epsom salt. It's just kind of silly.
Right.
Or this salt, like, I don't know. So the way you start the game, you have to start before midnight.
Okay.
You would write your full name, first, middle, and last on a piece of paper with your pen or pencil, and you would prick your finger with the pin, squeeze it until blood comes out, and wipe the blood on the paper.
There it is. There's the caveat. Blood.
You have to let it soak into the paper as well. You'll end up turning off every light in your home, and you'll place the paper with your name and blood in front of a closed wooden door. And you would have to light the candle with your matches or lighter and place it on top of the paper. Then you have to knock on the wooden door 22 times.
22?
22 times.
Oh, jeez.
And you have to time it because the final knock must occur precisely when the clock chimes midnight. You open the door, blow out the candle, close the door, relight your candle. And that's how you start
I'm not
it.
going to lie to you. I'm already screwed. I forget what knock I'm on. Am I on 11, 12, 13?
As you're trying to stare at the clock to make sure you're doing it at the exact same time.
Screwed.
So with the main event, when the game begins, keeping your candle in hand and your salt and matches or lighter close by, you have to begin moving around your home. Should your candle go out, you must relight it within 10 seconds. If you are successful, continue moving about your home. Do not stop moving until 3:33 a.m. You're doing this for 3.5 hours of just moving around with a candle. A candle's going to get hot or it's going to just melt down and you'll have wax
really
everywhere.
Tall candle.
Really tall.
Really tall candle. Just, all right.
If you are unsuccessful in relighting your candle, immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. Remain inside until 3:33 a.m. So anytime between midnight and 3:33, if you cannot get that candle relit, within 10 seconds, you have to just stand there in a circle of salt and do nothing, pretty much.
Oh, see, if you have how much time do you have? Do you have like that 10 seconds to like get that circle down, or
No. So I don't think so.
like how long do I have?
Maybe it will. Maybe my notes will have more of an explanation on that.
I only
part.
ask because like if you made a big enough circle, you could just sleep in the circle.
If you have enough salt.
Well, yeah. But you get like table salt. You can get that kosher salt box.
Yeah, just a big container.
Box of salt.
At 3:33 a.m., it is safe to stop moving or step outside of your circle of salt. You may also want to turn on the lights. The game should be over. Indications that the Midnight Man is near, though, but not limited to these indications. Sudden drops in temperature, the sound of a soft whisper with no discernible source, the appearance of a humanoid figure within the darkness, the candle going out. Apparently, if your candle goes out, that's a sign of the Midnight Man being near.
Okay.
But I mean, if you just turn too fast, it could just blow out, right? Should you experience any of the first 3 occurrences, leave the area immediately. So if you experience the drop in temperature, soft whispering, or seeing someone, you should leave the area immediately. Should you experience the 4th occurrence following the previous given instructions, relight your candle. It will keep the Midnight Man temporarily at bay. Should you fail to perform this, make the circle. There are no known methods to abort the game. You're just kind of stuck until the 3.5 hours are up.
That sucks.
At 3:33, he'll leave your home. After he has left, you may safely end the game. There are some strong notes about what you should not do.
Okay.
Do not turn on any lights during the game. Do not use a flashlight. Do not go to sleep.
Oh, well.
Can't sleep in your circle, buddy. Do not use a lighter instead of a candle during the game. You can have the lighter, but you need it to light the candle.
Right.
Do not use a person's blood other than your own. Do not attempt to leave your home during the game. Do not attempt to provoke the Midnight Man. And most importantly, do not assume that the Midnight Man has left your home for good.
So it's a never-ending game.
You're summoning something. I feel like that's your battle. You
Don't do it. I'm just going to look right in the camera. Don't fucking do that.
messing with blood.
That's trash.
Messing with blood is never a good thing.
Oh, dude. That. I don't think so. Not
that's,
ever.
That's coming from someone who has a dad who messes with blood and spell work.
That's also coming from you, who also did a ritual when we did our broadhead investigation.
Involving blood and from my dad.
Yeah.
So I can definitely say I think I could believe in spell work if blood is involved. Because like when my dad and I did that together, and then for broadhead, seeing things, and you guys could not see what I saw.
No, the only 2 people who saw it were the 2 people who did it.
And it was really messed up.
That was scary. You were freaked out for sure.
Yeah. So my notes, I didn't have any answers for your question of if it's a big enough circle. However, you can't sleep.
So, well, no, that answered my question, so it didn't matter. I would have fallen asleep if I would have laid down, so.
I would assume you can't use your phone during all this either.
No, not if you can't use a flashlight. That's the same thing, really.
Yeah. And, like, doesn't say anything about not filming.
Yeah, but to be honest.
Do you think it would be all mind games?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Like you're just tricking your own brain into thinking you know something around?
I don't know. I mean, it's open to interpretation, I guess.
I mean, if you have a camera set up, like if you have a camera in each room set up in the corner or whatever, as you're roaming around, and if you think you hear or see something, if the camera doesn't pick it up in any way, and it's just you looking like a silly person walking around with a candle and hot wax all over your arm, it could be just mind games. Or do you really think it could be real and not caught on camera? That's all about like paranormal and experiences.
Yeah, obviously I'm never going to try this game, but
Your apartment's so small. It would be like walking down one hallway. Back and forth.
No, I don't even want to attempt to piss off anything that is here because I've seen shit here. I've heard shit here. And I mean, it started when I moved in, when I put these 2 things in my apartment. I already told you about that. But after we did our Whispers Estate investigation, like the week after we got back,
yeah,
I was laying in bed and I woke up at 2 a.m. and I heard a woman talking. So I looked out my window because my window faces where like there's like a terrace where people smoke cigarettes and stuff. So I looked out there and nobody was out there, and I'm on the back end of the building. Mm-hmm. So I looked to see if any of my neighbors were like up, and nobody was. Like there was no lights on. Granted, I'm on the 2nd floor, so it also could have been somebody on the 1st floor that I didn't see.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't seen anybody have their windows open lately.
It makes me question why it was okay. You said after Whispering Estates.
It was after we went to Whispers Estate. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, is there any? Well, yep. Never mind. I was gonna say, are there any like female spirits at that place that could have like tagged along back or like left a little bit of residue on you or something?
But I heard that, and then, but that's not the end of it. This is the thing I called you about that one day because I didn't want to bring attention to it at the time. But from my living room to my bathroom, which is right across the hall from my bedroom,
yeah,
I heard like distinct knocks. So I heard one start from my living room, go into my kitchen, and then right next to my bathroom, I heard, so it went knock, 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 like fucking loud. I'm like, nope, I'm going to be like that 10-year-old kid. I'm going to put the blanket over my head. I'm checking. I grab my phone immediately. I'm putting on something to calm me the hell down. Like, I'm also making sure my alarms are on for work the next day. So I'm like, nope, all right, alarms are set, goody gumdrops. I'm just going to roll under the blanket.
And that's pretty disturbing because...
I live alone.
Yeah, and there's no apartment, like... next to you.
There is, but nobody's knocking at 2:00 in the morning because they have kids. And like, I would have been able to distinguish between if it was them.
I really think you just, every time we do an investigation, you have someone that either hitchhikes or leaves a little bit of something on you just to remind you.
Stupid.
Because when we went to Cheney, you also had that kind of issue.
Oh my God. When we were at that Airbnb, I saw the basement door open. And I'm like, and you had just walked out too. And I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I'm like, are you serious? And like, I didn't even know that went to the basement. I thought it went to outside. So
I didn't even realize there was a door there until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I saw that thing open and shut and I went, oh, hell no. And it was right after we also freaked ourselves out like the night before.
Asking for the name of things that could be following.
I hate me sometimes. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm the focus of attention here or anything like that, but it always happens, like, after we're done, so, like, I experience something afterwards.
Yep.
And it's really weird lately. Like, I don't feel anything like, it's not anything negative that I know of. Like, I don't feel anything negative. Like, I feel fine staying in my apartment by myself. But, like, it's weird. Like,
you're going to go to bed tonight and be like,
well, Whispers, we had nothing happen. Not a single thing went off. Like, well, one thing happened with the bell and the REM pod went off, like, once.
I mean, if people listen to this podcast, I would assume they would watch the video.
I hope so. If you haven't, you should. People on YouTube tend to call it a demon house, and we talked to Sandra, the caretaker, and she says absolutely not. She hates that people call it that. But we had absolutely no activity. One of the most haunted houses in Indiana. Not a single thing happened.
Yeah. Just cute cats and a lot of stuff that you could debunk.
Singer and I hanging out.
Yeah.
That was basically it.
It's just a bro night.
Just chilling in the house by ourselves. Because you got sick, so you were laying in the car.
Yeah, that trip is so disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, it could be disappointing to you because like lack of evidence and all that stuff.
No, but I feel
or
like-
lack of experiences. It's
Well,
disappointing for me because I had to sit there and do nothing.
Well, even still, like, if you look back at it, I know we're diverging from the Slumber Party games, but I think this is really good to talk about because I talked about it in our episode with the Warhorse team, and I want to make sure that I establish it here. You're not always going to get evidence. That's fine. I always tell you when we go to someplace, I'm always afraid we're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
It finally happened. We drove 8 hours. Nothing happened.
And we're not saying that if you would go yourself that you wouldn't experience.
No, because they
stuff.
literally had people come in afterwards and they're like, "Holy crap, that was so active! Like, what the heck?"
For everyone, it's different.
It's different.
Every day, it's different.
It's like it's not my job. They're not on my payroll or anything like that. I'm not paying them. But like, our experiences, we didn't have anything happen, and I feel that bumps the credibility of how we investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are so many ways you could fake the same activity. I'm not saying that people going there are faking things. I'm just saying we did it in our B-roll.
Yep.
We did it in the B-roll I shot for the intro of that video where there's activity of balls being popped off the mantle of the bed, of the base of the bed.
The door opening.
The closet, it can open. Like, you see the handle. Someone can literally just stand on the side and be like, "Whoa, my God." But, like, there's so many ways you can do that. And we didn't. We just sat in an empty house, besides the caretaker. We sat in a house, and nothing happened. We didn't experience anything. Nothing happened. I was provoking. Whatever was there, I was trying to provoke. I was trying to invite. I was trying all different types of tactics.
And you were given permission to provoke and do all of that.
I double checked. But I was doing different types. Nothing happened. Until I came home. And then I heard 3 knocks. I went, "Oh, well, then now it's a demon."
Too long, didn't listen.
Now it's a demon.
We didn't get anything, but Blaine got stuff at home.
I got stuff at home and it's a demon because it knocked 3 times.
Speaking of demons, I mean, demons go with devils. This next game is called The Little Devil, or it's called Chirtik.
Okay.
According to most sources, this game, that's known as Chirtik, is of Russian origin. And it is part summoning ritual, part game of knowledge. It involves making your own variation of a talking or Ouija board and fashioning a device that functions like a planchette from a few everyday objects. But it would be wise not to put too much trust into your correspondent. You are talking with the devil after all, or at least a devil or something dark. And they aren't generally known for their truthfulness or honesty. They are very much known for their lies. So you have to play at your own risk.
Oh, good. Don't viewer discretion.
Probably shouldn't play. So you may play this game at any time or on any date. However, before beginning, all participants should remove any metal jewelry from their person. Also, do not wear, carry, or otherwise allowed to be present any items depicting religious
Iconography.
Thank you, iconography. Leave those items outside of the room in which you have decided to play. The length... I never added what you needed. There is a piece of thread that you are supposed to be using. And
at least you remembered.
Yeah. The length of the thread does not need to be precisely 10 inches. That's just a measurement. So what I believe you're going to end up doing is like you're going to have something sit at the bottom of the thread.
Okay.
Oh, here are my requirements.
Hey!
Found them. You're going to need a quiet room, a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, a needle, spool of thread. The thread may be any color, but red or black is recommended, of course.
My favorite colors.
A pair of sewing scissors, a compass, like to make circles. Make nice circles. It's optional, but not recommended. Or is recommended. Candle, matches, or a lighter, and a list of questions. So if you're playing this with 2 or more participants, you may choose to designate one participant as the first principal, and the first principal may take the lead in conducting the preparations. issuing the invitation, and beginning the banishment, including but not limited to drawing the board, preparing, positioning, and holding the needle and thread, leading the incantations of the invitation, asking Chirtik, are you here? And destroying and disposing all of the items that are involved.
Swear to God, if it starts happening now.
Because I'm saying Chirtik?
Yep.
Who knows if I'm actually saying it right? It's Russian.
It's like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton, you here? No? Okay.
Darn. Do not take any of these answers at face value. Your correspondent may deceive you. They may trick you, lie to you. They may tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear, and they'll almost certainly attempt to manipulate you into doing their bidding. They may sprinkle their answers with seeds of truth, seeds which are quite valuable indeed, but it will be up to you to separate the truth from lies. If you fail to do so, well, then they'll have you right where they want you. Do you really think they would let you ask them for information without taking something from you in return?
Ooh. Like a genie.
Like a genie? I mean, do genies really?
I mean, they don't take something, but they like twist your words.
If you want to get fancy and just say like a gin. I don't know.
There it is. That's what I'm looking for. A genie. Sorry, that was me trying to fix my mistake. Genie. Sorry. Anyway, anywho. We're off the rails.
Keep that nice break in. So for preparation, essentially you'll be making your own talking board or a Ouija board. But Ouija is a copyright thing, which we'll talk about sometime in the future.
Hasbro.
So begin by placing the piece of paper on a flat surface inside your quiet room and use your pen or pencil to draw the perfect circle on it. Within that circle, you're going to be drawing a small dot in the middle. And around that dot, you will draw a small illustration of a devil. It doesn't need to be detailed, but the illustrated devil should have cloved hooves, a forked tail, and of course horns. The dot should be positioned right where the devil's heart would be if they had hearts. Along the outer edge of the circle, right?
Is this where that image you were telling me about comes into play? You'll see it on the video version. That's why we're describing it in the audio version. But yes.
On the outer edge of the circle, you will be writing the letters of the alphabet. Positioning A at the top, like above the devil's head.
Yep.
And you just go around. Along the inner edge of the circle, write numbers 0 through 9. And the 0 should align at the top of the circle with the A. Directly above the head, the devil's head, the word yes. Directly below the feet would be no. So I drew up a little example.
Yeah, the T through Z seems pretty squished together.
You know,
I mean, when you're trying to fit 26 letters to nine numbers or 10 numbers, it's pretty.
I wasn't really trying very hard. Unless you want to summon Chirtik.
No, I was just saying that it's like when you're trying to match 26 letters to 10 numbers, it's hard.
It's pretty sad that I'm an artist. I'm a graphic designer, and that's what I made.
We're a low viewer podcast. It's fine.
No one will judge. So once you get all of those pieces put together and everything, your board is complete. And now comes the invitation. If the lights are on, you have to turn them off. If there are windows, close the curtains. Place the candle near the piece of paper and light it using your matches or lighter. Using the sewing scissors, cut off a piece of thread about 20 inches in length. But before it said 10 inches. Thread the needle. Double the thread. You know, that makes sense. Doubling up the thread before you tie the ends off. Then it will be 10 inches. Math. If playing with 2 or more participants, set the needle and thread aside and join hands. If alone, skip the step and proceed to the next step. I'm going to just go through these steps as if it is you and I playing.
Sure.
Because I would assume if viewers really, really want to do this, you'll know which steps you can skip because you'd be alone. Or just find a partner and copy what I say. Don't do it. But, so speak aloud in unison. If playing with two players, we would have to say, forces of darkness, I ask for your help. And you just say that once, and then release your hands. Hold the needle to the candle flame. Allow its point to get as hot as you can bear. So you're holding it, not by the string.
You're holding it by the needle.
Yeah. So you have to hold it there as long as you can until you just can't stand the pain anymore.
Oh, is it like in your skin?
No. So you're holding the back of the needle, right?
Right.
And you're putting it in the flame.
Oh.
You're not holding the string and dangling it.
Okay.
So you're going to be holding a hot piece of metal.
Okay, I understand what you're saying now. I get it.
Remove the needle from the flame. Hold the thread by the knot at the end of it, allowing the needle to dangle over the piece of paper. Still holding onto the knot and the thread, position the needle point at the dot in the center of the devil illustration. You may wish to dig the point into the paper just a bit, but be careful, don't dig too deep. Leave a small amount of slack in the thread. The needle should not stand completely upright. It should be tilted just slightly at an angle. If you were to nudge the needle gently with your finger, it should be able to rotate freely around the circle, with the point remaining secured at the center of the paper. Repeat twice, out loud, again in unison. Cheer tick, come. And then you would say out loud, cheer tick, are you here? Watch the needle. If the needle remains stationary, indicating no, or otherwise gives a negative or nonsensical answer, do not proceed. Snip the thread with the sewing scissors. Remove it from the needle. Hold the thread to the candle flame until it's all burnt away. Then destroy and dispose of the paper and bury the needle in the ground as far away as possible. You may try again another time, although it's not recommended that you do. So if you just get an answer like a no or something negative when you're asking, are you here? You just got to abandon ship and get rid of everything as fast as possible.
So if we get an answer.
If the needle would point to yes or otherwise give a positive answer, you can proceed.
Oh, if it says no. Okay, I want to make
sure.
If
it says no, then you got to abandon ship.
Gotcha.
You can ask questions. Make sure you begin by addressing cheer tick by the name. So you have to say that before each question. And you'll watch the needle fit. What? You'll watch the needle remain stationary.
So the thread is what's moving, yeah?
Okay, so this is the needle, right?
In that spot.
Here's my thread. The needle needs to be slack a little bit so it can just roll around.
Okay, but is the needle pinned in that spot
yes.
that we're seeing? Okay.
Yes, it would be pinned right where the devil's heart is.
Okay. But the thread it's spinning.
It's spinning with the thread.
Gotcha.
Yes. So if you would ask a question and the needle stays stationary, you have to ask a different question. If it swings around, make note of where it stops, the letters, numbers, or words. It might spell out words or messages. It might give you certain numbers. It might indicate yes or no. The second person who is participating in this can write down the answers so you can remember. When you are finished asking questions, proceed to the banishment. So when it comes to the banishment, set the needle down and thread in the center of the circle and join hands. Speak out loud, cheer tick, be gone. Release your hands and then hold on to the candle flame until it has burned away completely. Oh, you also have to snip the thread and remove it from the needle. Oh, that's what you're holding to the flame. Pregnancy brain, guys. Okay, you snip the thread off the needle.
Okay.
You burn the thread. You turn on the lights. Open the curtains, and as soon as you're able to, destroy and dispose of the paper. Then take the needle as far away as you can and bury it in the ground. You may find in the days and weeks following your game that you have developed a certain sensitivity to religious iconography. Yeah, did I say it wrong?
Iconography.
God, can we just bleep everything out? No. This is to be expected. There is also nothing to be done about it. And that's the end of that, of cheer tick.
Okay.
So
if you ever want to be super religious, that's the game for you.
If you want to be super religious,
you said you'll become
more sensitive,
like
to religious
Oh, like you'll hate it. Like
yes, you see in cheesy little,
misinterpretation.
you see in little like possession movies.
We're like the fucking Omen.
Oh, the cross, get it away.
The fucking Omen or whatever.
We're both really off today.
That's okay. I just misinterpreted what you said. How many more do we got? I know we only did 2, so.
1, 2, 2.
Okay. Can I read one? Well, but you know what
absolutely.
it is. You know what it is, though. So.
No. I did this research a while ago. You could absolutely read one.
All right, pass that shit. All right, this is we're changing it up. Changing it up.
The hosting game.
Ooh, baby, let's see here. Okay, we're doing the hosting game. Now, I've never read this before, so this is all new to me too. You're gonna hear.
It might come out better and out from his mouth than it comes from my mouth.
Oh, you might hear pregnancy brain from me too. It's them sympathy
passes along.
Brains, you know. Get the sympathy brain. The sympathy brain.
The sympathy brain.
All right, the hosting game also goes by the name Don't Look Back, for reasons that become apparent as I explain the steps. I'm reading this word for word, by the way.
Oh.
This game is best played alone. Your guests may not feel welcome if they feel there is already a crowd present. Once the gathering has begun, do not at any point turn around or look behind you. I'm going to make sure that our audio is still recording. Okay, we're good. I'm just double checking. I get scared sometimes. That's what I'm scared.
Do not look behind you.
I'm not looking behind me. I'm looking in front of me.
I know. I'm just saying. You get scared.
Do not turn around or look behind you. The requirements. A small, dark, empty room in your home, your hosting room. Ideally, this room should have no windows. If, however, you do not have such a room available to you, a room with windows may be used, provided that said windows may be completely covered up. No outside, I'm assuming this is supposed to be light, should be visible from inside the room. You put LONT. L-O-N-T.
You're going to see all of my spelling errors.
No outside light should be visible. I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Inside the room. A writing implement and paper, a clock, watch, or other analog timekeeping device. Do not use a cell phone, digital watch, or other digital devices. And you'll need 3 matches. Don't do this.
Only 3.
That's what it says. The invitation. Begin at night. Keep your timekeeping device and the matches on your person. Sorry, this is or. Begin at night, keep your timekeeping device and the matches on your person at all times. Turn off all possible sources of noise in your home. This includes telephones, televisions, computers, alarms, etc. Be thorough. If your hosting room requires it, draw the curtains or otherwise block the windows so that no light can be seen from inside the room. Enter your hosting room and turn on the light. If the room contains no lamps or overhead lights, use a flashlight, lantern, lit candle, or other portable light source, but not your cell phone, because it says don't use your cell phone. You said that.
Yep.
Candles, although correct in terms of atmosphere, may pose a fire hazard, so proceed with caution.
At least they're like, oh, fire? We shouldn't do that.
Don't do fire.
But you could summon things.
Fire bad. Summoning demons is good. Place your writing implement and piece of paper in your hosting room, leaving the light source on. Exit your hosting room. Go to the furthest point in your home from the room and call. I don't know what this says. And call, I think it's supposed to be I'll be ready soon, but it says 1L1.
Oh, call out, I will be ready soon.
Okay, but that's not what they said on here. It says 1L1 be ready soon. But I was gonna say I'll, but I'm
it's
is that
because when you're writing it out with a pen tablet on the tablet, it gets a little funky.
It's okay. I thought I was supposed to be I'll. So I'll be ready soon. Move from room to room of your home, repeating this phrase in every room, moving closer. Sorry, this is really funny. Moving closer to your hosting room with each call. When you arrive back at your hosting room, use the writing implement to write the following message on the piece of paper. You are invited. A gathering hosted by, insert your name here, takes place from insert current time to an hour from the current time. Bring your friends. Place the piece of paper in the middle of the hosting room. Stand in the doorway of the hosting room facing into the room and call, I'm ready, come on in. So you're facing inside.
Yep, and you're just inviting people.
But you're facing into the room. So like if I'm sitting in the doorway, I'm looking in. That's what it says. Okay. Making sure I'm understanding this right.
Yes.
I'm trying to picture it in my head as I'm doing this.
I'll just grab a camera and record you going around doing it.
Yeah, right. All right. The Gathering. We're now at the Gathering stage. Turn off the light and turn around. The open door to the hosting room should be at your back. You should be facing the darkness of your home. Take out your 3 matches. After a few moments of silence, begin counting out loud, starting at 1 and ending at 10. Do not look back. When you reach the count of 10, strike the first match. If the first match lights on the first strike, hold it as it burns and greet your guests by saying, "I'm glad to see you. Thank you for coming." Hold the match until it burns down as low as you can bear. If the match does not light on the first strike, drop it and immediately proceed to the next step.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm assuming this is the next step. It says, do not look back, strike the second match.
Yes.
Okay. If the second match lights on the first strike, hold it as it burns and greet more of your guests by saying, "I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for coming." Hold the match until it burns as low as you can bear. If the second match does not light on the first strike, drop it and immediately proceed to the next step. Do not look back. Strike the third match. If the third match lights on the first strike, say, "Now everyone is here," and count from 1 to 10 once more. If you've done this correctly, you will be able to hear or feel whispering, rustling, or a quiet "thank you" behind you. 2, do not look back. 3, when your timekeeping device indicates the gathering's finishing time, say out loud, "Thank you for coming, goodbye." Walk to the nearest light source and turn it on. The gathering is over and your guests have gone. If the third match does not light on the first strike, you have uninvited guests. Do not look back. Do not turn around. Do not pause to close the door. Run as quickly as you can to the nearest light source and turn it on. What the f***? That's crazy.
So, like, it seemed, well, the whole beginning of it, it just seems like, oh, this is, like, friendly and fun.
Oh, but here's the thing. It's not done yet. Like, there's a thing concerning uninvited guests.
Okay.
I just accidentally opened your keyboard up. That's the problem. So I'm just like trying to close that. Concerning uninvited guests. Although turning on the nearest light source will end the gathering, do not assume that your guests have gone. It is recommended that you perform a purifying or cleansing ritual as well as that you avoid dark rooms in your home from then on. Sleep with your light on?
Night lights.
That's what it's saying. It's like sleep with lights on them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, you are summoning, you are inviting things to come and
No, I understand that, but I'd be like, oh, I screwed this up entirely. Now I gotta sleep. My power bill's gonna be through the roof.
So when it says like light the matches, do you turn back into the room?
No, it doesn't say that.
You walk backwards?
It doesn't say go into the room.
You're just standing in the doorway and lighting the matches.
Yeah, it says if your second. Oh, so if the match doesn't light, you drop in and go to the second one. If the second match lights on the first strike, hold it as it burns and greet your guests. You're still standing in the doorway.
Oh, so you're greeting them as they're coming in.
Yeah, but you're facing the room yet.
No, it says turn your back.
Turn around, right. It says turn around. My bad. So you're facing outside into like, so if I'm in my apartment, I'm looking at my kitchen.
Oh, could you imagine just standing in your doorway and like when you hit the third match and it's like.
If it doesn't light, you're f***ed.
Yeah. Or like when it does, like if it does light and you just hear all this movement and rustling and little whispers saying thank you behind you.
That's the thing is I've heard stuff like on investigations. I've heard like at the Sheboygan Asylum, I was down in the tunnels and we were asking the male workers if it was break time and we all audibly heard no. And I was just like, like, holy crap.
Like,
and we've heard talking all the time in investigations.
Yeah.
Look, if I was by myself, which I think you have to be in this game.
Yes.
I think that's what it said. I'd be so screwed. I'd be scared shitless. Because I've never investigated really solo I've investigated a little bit by myself. Like we split up.
However, but you still have someone that you know in the building.
Well, at the time of recording, I haven't investigated solo. That's true. That's going to change coming up. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's interesting. I really like that game. I'm not going to try it.
I think you should on a solo.
You. I'm not doing that.
What's to be scared of?
Summoning a fucking demon.
You just carry some salt.
Yeah, well, that's gonna help. We don't make the rules.
Eat a lot of salt. Take in all that
Already do,
sodium.
thanks.
Do you want to read the last one?
Yeah, I can. I was actually gonna ask
Absolutely. I don't remember what the last one is.
It's the living doll game.
Oh, shit. I know the last one. I don't know the details, but oh, shit.
This is all new to me, so I'm liking this.
All right.
All right. I appreciate you letting me read some of these. I
feel like next time we should next episode, let's get part 3. I should just research it and let you go.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this really quick. And leave a comment down below if you want to hear more of these, because I'm actually kind of interested in these now. I know the first one was like, come on.
The second one was kind of eh. This one...
no, I mean like the first episode we did of this.
Come on. That first episode was great.
It was great, but you saw me just be like, really?
Yeah, you
But now I'm
shrugged
actually
it all
kind of
off.
intrigued by some of these. Like, I'm not going to do them, but I'm intrigued.
I will say this game is scary.
All right, the living doll game. You perform the summoning or invitation ritual with a doll, then go hide somewhere in your home. Craig, Melissa, you should try this. You have a doll room in the Glen Beulah School. Somewhere in your home and try to make it back home. Oh my God, let me restart this. You perform a summoning or invitation ritual with a doll, then go hide somewhere in your home and try to make it back to home base before the doll finds you. A note about the scapegoat doll. Scapegoat dolls, also known as Katashiro or Hitogata, were used in the Shinto rituals as well. Sorry if I mispronounced those. As well, sort of like cosmic fall guys.
It's just like reminding me of Kita.
Yeah, right. I apologize if I mispronounce those words. They could be used in purification rituals as vessels into which a person's sins could be transferred after the transfer was complete. The Katashiro would then be disposed of, carry the sin far, far away. They could also be used to ward off bad luck, or rather to absorb it, allowing anyone they were standing in for to reap only good luck and good fortune. In the living doll game, sorry, it like slid on my finger.
Yep.
The scapegoat operates as a decoy. It would be very, very foolish to play this game without it. No bystanders may be present while playing this game. It is also not recommended that pets be allowed to remain in the house during the game's duration. The human doll cannot be made of a soft material. Do not use a doll with a soft body. Do not use a plush doll. The scapegoat doll may be made of any material, although it is not recommended that it be similar or identical to the human doll. When hiding the scapegoat, don't make it too easy to find, but don't make it too hard to find either. It's a decoy. It can do its job if it's not hidden just right. The game may also be played in its original language, which I'm assuming is
Japanese, yeah.
I can't read any of this, so I won't.
Yes, so that's what I was talking about to you before, how I probably should brush up on how to speak this.
Right. So I'm just going to read it in English because we have it translated. So I'm just going to read it in English. I leave for you a new body. Please take it. Let's play. I'll have the translations up on the screen if you're watching the video version, or if you're watching this on Patreon early. Thank you for those who are donating to our Patreon. If you want to, Ghost in Us, patreon.com/Ghost in Us. For $1, you get early access. That's my sales pitch. Please come and find me. If you do, I will give you my life. And you lose, the game is over now. That's the English translations.
Yes.
I could not pronounce the other ones, so I'm not even going to attempt it.
Yeah.
Here are the requirements. 2 mirrors. These mirrors should be capable of standing upright on their own. 1 doll. This doll should resemble a human as closely as possible and should be made of a hard material such as plastic, porcelain, wood, etc. Note this doll will be referred to as the doll throughout the instructions in order to differentiate it from the scapegoat.
So pretty much like buy like an American Girl doll or something.
Basically, if you want to do it now, but don't. 1 candle, matches or a lighter, a supply of salt wrapped in paper, At least 5 spoonfuls are recommended. A timekeeping device. 1 scapegoat doll. Optional but highly recommended. Note this doll will be referred to as a scapegoat throughout the instructions. 1 strand of your own hair. Optional but highly recommended. Necessary if you're using the scapegoat doll. Well, then it's fucking necessary. It's just not. Ay. The invitation. Here we go. Begin shortly after midnight. Clear your home of all other people and pets. Make sure you know what time the sun is due to rise. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
If using the scapegoat doll, begin by affixing the strand of hair firmly to the scapegoat. You may do this in any number of ways, tying the hair to the doll, opening the doll up and placing the hair inside before sewing the doll back up, etc. But whichever method you choose, make certain that the hair will not become unattached during the course of the game. Choose a room in your home to be home base. Choose a different... Craig and Melissa, I respond. Don't do this. I'm sorry, don't do this. If you're listening, you won't, but don't do it. Choose a room in your home to be the home base. Choose a different room to be your hiding place. Turn off all the lights in your home except in your home base room. If using the scapegoat, hide it somewhere in your home. Do not hide the scapegoat in the home base room or in your hiding place room. Bring the mirrors, candle, matches, or lighter, salt, timekeeping device. Sorry, it says or. But matches or lighter. Sorry, there we go. Salt, timekeeping device, and human doll into the home base room. Turn on the lights if they aren't already on. Position the mirror so they are facing each other, creating that infinite reflection. Facing each other with a small amount of space in between. Place the doll and the candle in the space between the 2 mirrors. Keep an eye on your timekeeping device, so don't lose track of that. When the timekeeping device reads midnight, light the candle with the matches or lighter. Repeat the following words aloud 5 times. I leave for you a new body. Please take it. And then repeat the following words aloud 5 times. Let's play. Note, at this point, you may hear noises coming from somewhere in your home. Do not be alarmed. This indicates that the invitation has succeeded.
Just the idea that dolls are involved, I think, makes it scary.
You should try this. You have dolls.
Yeah, but they have squishy bodies.
Not all of them.
Yes, they do. Sleeping Beauty.
Barbara does?
I actually don't know.
I think Babs
I don't think I want to play this with Babs. She keeps hiding my stuff.
Yeah, Babs does hide your shit. Anyway, where was I? Okay. Okay. You may proceed regardless as to whether you hear noises or not. If, however, you feel any physical sensations on your body, such as tugging, pressure, light touches, etc., do not proceed. Abort ritual immediately.
Any feeling, if you feel anything on your body.
If you feel touched at all, don't do it. Don't do it in general, but don't do it. Take hold of the supply of salt. This is the hunt, sorry. The hunt. Keep it on your person at all times. Then say aloud, please come and find me. If you do, I will give you my life. Turn off the lights in your home base room and make your way as quickly and quietly as possible to your hiding place. Mm-hmm. Taking with you only the salt. Do not speak. Do not make any additional noise. Do not leave a trail to your hiding place. When you reach your hiding place, sit cross-legged on the floor with your back to the door. Scatter some salt on yourself, but do not use up all of it for this purpose. You will need more again later. Wait. And again, do not make any noise. Do not let the doll find you.
So you're only allowed to bring the salt, right? That's what it said. Mm-hmm. So you leave your time, like your clock.
Yeah, the time everything else is in your home base room, I guess.
All right.
So like you don't have your matches or lighter. You just have the salt on you.
Okay.
Do not make any noise. Do not let the doll find you. The closing. When you are ready to end the game, return to the home base room. Move swiftly and move quietly. Do not speak. Do not make any noise. Do not do anything that would allow the doll to find you. Stand before the candle and repeat the following words 5 times. You lose, the game is over now. Extinguish the candle and scatter salt on yourself. Find the doll. Note, it may not be where you left it. When you find it, scatter salt on it.
All I can think about is like, you sit down and you're like a few seconds in and you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to play this game anymore. And you try to get up and try to go and you're just like stumbling over everything, trying to get back.
I'd be so screwed. I'm fat, man. I'd be all over the place tripping.
If I tried to play this now, I would have to crawl.
All right, so scatter salt on it when you find the doll. If using the scapegoat, find the scapegoat and scatter salt on it as well.
Okay.
Turn on all the lights in your home. Create a bright, cheerful, and pleasant an atmosphere as possible.
Blast your favorite music.
If you're home by whatever means you most prefer, play upbeat music, watch a funny television show or movie, read a book or a magazine you enjoy, engage in your favorite hobby, etc. Maintain this atmosphere for at least an hour and at least until the sun has risen. Within 3 days of completing the game, make sure you perform the following actions. Destroy the mirrors and dispose of them in 2 different places as far away from each other as possible.
All right.
Remove the hair from the scapegoat, burn the hair, and destroy and dispose of the scapegoat. Bring the doll to a shrine. If you are unable to do this, destroy and dispose of the doll instead. Oh. Be careful in the dark from here on out.
So, like I said before, it's a lot of summoning games.
Yeah, for real.
And then, you're not allowed to live in the dark.
Oh my God, you're not allowed to do anything in the dark. Someone must be outside. I just heard a little bang. I'm like,
oh my God, you started the game.
I didn't do anything. F off. I didn't do anything.
Just.
I don't even have a doll.
That's disturbing if a doll shows up.
I don't even have one.
Okay, anyways, continue.
Did you hear that?
No.
I just heard somebody go, ugh.
Just go.
I don't know if that was a ceiling fan. I hope that was.
We're summoning all sorts of stuff.
I didn't
in
do
here.
anything, Taylor. Swear to Christ.
This was part of my plan.
Oh, my mom listens to this.
Go ahead.
If it becomes necessary to abort the ritual, scatter salt on the mirrors, the doll, and the scapegoat. Destroy and dispose of the mirror and doll and the scapegoat as indicated in the closing. Some good news. Here's some good news. Even if the doll finds the room you are in, it may not notice you. Unless you make too much noise. It is of the utmost importance that you remain as silent as possible for the duration of the game.
Man, I cough too much. I'm a goner.
If, during the hunt, you begin to feel as if you are in immediate danger, quietly rise from your sitting position and hide somewhere in the room, inside a closet or under or behind a large piece of furniture. They are ideal. Do not make any noise and do not leave a trail indicating where you are hiding. Again, the game becomes more dangerous the longer it continues. It is in your best interest to end it without getting caught as soon as possible. Start and stop. Done. Win.
Just don't start.
You must finish. Oh, excuse me, I burped. You must finish the game before sunrise. Do not leave your home. Oh my gosh, I hiccuped.
This episode.
Sorry. You must finish the game before sunrise. Do not leave your home before ending the game. Do not neglect to destroy and dispose of the mirrors of the dolls. Do not neglect to end the game. That's it.
So, when you think of Japanese culture and, all of the, they really do believe in the spirits and, the shrines and the dolls and all that stuff, it really makes me, believe that one.
Oh, for sure.
Because of just their culture in general. And, oh, yeah, that one is terrifying to me.
And that's the one where we were like, what the fuck is happening around here?
There was one, I didn't like write down the details. There's a game that's another like ritual-esque like summoning, but it seemed really nice. Like, it didn't seem like a scary thing. It's called the Dumb Supper.
Okay.
Such a shitty name for it. But, like, what you do is when you're trying, like, if you want to summon a certain person that you want to talk to, like a loved one that passed away, what you can do is you would set up this table, invite people over, and have the chairs backwards, have the dishes backwards. If you have a fork on the right side of the plate, usually put it on the left. You have to have everything backwards. And you have to make their favorite meals and tell everyone you are not allowed to speak from the moment you walk into the building and walk out. And you have to like leave the head of the table
open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like people can write down their feelings or what they want to say and put it down and just leave. And I guess it's like, it's just like showing appreciation to the dead.
Okay.
But like, it's so cool and like different and stuff. Like, you have to do it all backwards. I don't understand that. Maybe because like, do you think they see it backwards?
Oh.
And then they're like, oh, the best time to do it is on Halloween.
Shocking.
If only I knew my mom's favorite food. I think that would have been like, that one doesn't seem scary and unsafe.
No, but we're not doing it here. Put my foot down.
Because we may have summoned Cheertick or this
The
little
living doll game?
Yeah, you're going to hear little pitter patters.
Again, I don't own a doll. Like, I don't.
All right.
The old elbow?
So I only had 4 games. There is a bonus one, but I have done zero like research into it. Gave a little bit of a spiel about the Dumb Supper. And if you guys want
I
more,
like these a lot more than the last 4. I don't know what it was about the last 4. I'm like, ugh. But no, I really enjoyed listening about these.
The last 4 were harder to believe because they were more like involving certain, I don't know, like the elevator game. It was a lot of weird steps. The 3 Kings I do like.
Yeah,
I think that is
different.
cool.
That one was cool. But no, these I liked a lot more than the other ones. So good job.
Woo! If you guys want to hear more, I will gladly find more. And if you like Blaine narrating them better, because I sure do, let us know.
Yeah, I was reading those for the first time. I've never heard of any of these things, so that was really cool. I liked reading them off.
I would like to just do the research and then hand it to you.
All right.
And then have you like talk about it, and you could stop and make comments, and then I could be like, well.
Yeah. And if you guys have any ideas or want to be on the show and share your paranormal experiences, you can email us at ghostinus@gmail.com. Just put like podcast in the subject line, and we will either try to get you on or try and incorporate your idea, because I'm open to hearing about other stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, we're Ghosting Us podcast, but like our team is paranormal, so we talk about everything, not just ghosts.
If you have any kind of like topics that you want us to talk about too, it would be really nice to share.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't even want to be on the show, if you want to email us your story, we can tell it that way. I'm open to that. If you don't feel comfortable, if you want to change your name and you don't want to be anonymous, just let me know. I've done anonymous podcasts in the past. Mm-hmm. It's really not that big of a deal. No pressure, no stress. So,
help us grow.
For sure. Again, thank you guys so much for listening to the show. Thank you, Taylor, for coming up with these 4 games. I really like these more than the last 4 that we did.
Just don't mind my spelling errors.
It's fine. I liked reading them. But if you want to join our Patreon, again, patreon.com/ghostinus. For $1 a month, you get early access to all episodes and all investigations a day early. You get shout outs at the end of every video. Like, your name will be seen on the screen just like it is right now in this video version of the podcast. And I want to make a big formal announcement because we are recording this on October 12th, I'm going to try and get this episode out as soon as possible. I'm going to make the announcement now. For those patrons who currently live in Wisconsin, that being our friends Jesse, John, I invited your Uncle Joe because he was our first patron, Carrie, and yeah, that's it.
I know there's there's Sarah, but I believe there's personal reasons.
There's personal, yes. So, but I'm inviting them out to investigate with me for a few hours at the Jericho Convent, courtesy of our friends over there from Warhorse and the owner himself. So thank you. And we're going to have we're going to have them investigate with us as a thank you. And you're going to see that in our next video for sure, in one of our next videos for sure. And then I'm going solo that night. So they're going to investigate for a few hours and we'll let them rev up the spirits and see what happens. And then I'm taking over and going solo between all 3 spots.
I do think it would be really fun in the future if we get more Patreon members that are in different states. And if we would go to the state that you would be in, offer for them to join us.
We already, this is why I wanted to do that. So that's why I'm announcing it for patron members. I'm probably going to make a quick video just to say thank you on there as well. And yeah, I've already messaged everybody. Everybody's in that I've so far, except for your uncle. He hasn't messaged me saying that he's in yet at the time of recording. I told him to let me know by the end of the week. That would be today. So
yeah.
So we'll have to message him again. But yeah, there's that. You can follow us on social media. We have a Facebook page. Everything is in the link tree in the description below. Or you can find us just everywhere at Ghost and Us or Ghost and Us Paranormal. Like our Facebook page is Ghost and Us Paranormal. But all the
other
handles,
social medias,
all the handles are at Ghost and Us, so it's easier to find. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode.